At my wedding reception, there was no seat for me at the high table. My mother-in-law told me I didn't deserve to sit with the dignitaries and I belonged to the back. She made her daughter sit with her billionaire ex-boyfriend. So I calmly walked to the back and sat there till the end of the program. But what happened after that was the biggest issue. Hello. Thank you for your continuous support. This means a lot to us. If you enjoy the stories we share, kindly subscribe to this channel to help us reach our first 1,000 subscribers. It would be great if you can also comment on which city you are watching from. We might just give you a shout out in our next story. Today, our special shout out goes to Francois Christensen from South Africa. You don't deserve to sit here, she says, loud enough that heads turn. Her voice cuts through the chatter like a blade, and I freeze. Your place is in the back. I blink, waiting for the punchline, but her eyes are ice, cold, unblinking, daring me to argue. The room's still humming, but it feels like everyone's staring now, forks paused halfway to mouths. I glance at Lila, expecting her to laugh it off, to grab my hand and pull me up anyway. She's my wife, damn it. We just swore forever. But she's looking down at her plate, her fingers twisting the edge of her napkin, silent as a ghost. Lila. My voice cracks, barely above a whisper. She doesn't move, doesn't even flinch. And that's when I see him, Victor freaking Kensington, sliding into the chair that's supposed to be mine. 6 feet of billionaire swagger, hair slicked back like he's auditioning for a movie, smirking at me like I'm some stray dog begging for scraps. Cynthia pats his shoulder, all proud and smug, then gestures toward the back of the room like she's shooing a fly. Go on, Ethan. That's where you belong. My face burns. Not from anger, not yet, but from the weight of every eye on me. The whispers ripple out, a tide of pity and amusement. I could fight it, could shove past Cynthia, plant myself in that chair, and dare them to drag me out. But what's the point? Lila's still staring at that damn napkin, and Victor's leaning in, whispering something that makes her lips twitch into a half smile. My wife, smiling at him. So I turn. I walk. Each step feels like wading through mud, the kind that sucks at your boots and pulls you down. The high table fades behind me, and I weave through the crowd, past the cousins who'd clapped me on the back an hour ago, past the bartender who'd poured me a shot for the groom. No one stops me. No one calls out. The back of the room is dim, a forgotten corner where the staff stash extra chairs and the overflow guests nobody cares about. There's a table there, half hidden by a pillar, with a couple of old guys nursing beers and a waitress on her break scrolling her phone. I drop into a chair, the metal creaking under me, and let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. From here, I can see everything. The high table's a stage, and they're the stars. Cynthia's laughing now, her head thrown back like she's never been happier. Victor's got his arm draped over the back of Lila's chair, casual as hell, like he owns her. And Lila, God, Lila, she's leaning into it. Not a lot, just enough. A tilt of her head, a flicker of her eyes. I know that look. I've seen it when she's charmed her way out of a parking ticket or talked me into staying up all night just to watch her favorite dumb rom-coms. She's playing along. The old guy next to me grunts, sipping his beer. Rough night, huh? He says, not looking up. I don't answer. My hands are fists in my lap, nails digging into my palms, but I keep my face blank. I've learned that much growing up. Don't let them see you break. Not the kids who'd laughed at my secondhand shoes. Not the boss who'd fired me for being too slow. Not even my dad when he walked out and left me to figure out rent at 16. I've taken hits before. This one's just sharper. The night drags on. Toasts echo through the room. Victor's voice booming about true class. Cynthia gushing over destiny. Lila says nothing, but her silence screams louder than anything. I don't touch the food they bring me. Some sad plate of cold chicken and wilted greens. I just watch. Every laugh from that table twists the knife deeper, but I don't look away. I can't. It's like staring at a car wreck. You hate it, but you need to see how bad it gets. By the time the band kicks into some cheesy slow dance, I'm numb. The waitress at my table glances over, pity in her eyes, and mutters, "You don't have to stay, you know." I almost laugh. Where else would I go? This is my wedding. My night. And I'm stuck here, in the shadows, while they shine up there like I never existed. The final toast comes, Cynthia again, glass raised, praising Lila's bright future. Victor clinks his glass against hers, and Lila smiles, full and real this time. That's when it hits me. Not the humiliation, not the betrayal, those I can swallow. It's the truth. I'm not part of their story. Never was. They didn't just take my seat, they took my whole damn life and handed it to him. I stand up. The chair scrapes loud enough to turn a few heads, but I don't care. I'm not running. I'm not breaking. I walk past the back table, past the old guys and the waitress, and stop at the edge of the room. One last look at the high table. Lila's eyes meet mine for a split second, then dart away. That's all I need. I'm done begging for a place they'll never give me. They want me in the back? Fine. But I'm not staying there. Not tonight, not ever. I turn toward the door, my step steady, my chest tight with something new, resolve, hard as steel. This isn't the end of my story. It's the start of theirs falling apart. The drive back to the house is a blur, headlights streaking past like comets, the radio spitting static because I can't be bothered to tune it. My hands grip the wheel so tight my knuckles ache, but my mind's still stuck at that damn reception, replaying every second of Cynthia's sneer, Victor's smirk, Lila's silence. Our new home's supposed to be a fresh start, a little two-bedroom we scraped together, half my savings, half her trust fund. I'd painted the walls myself, hauled boxes up the stairs while she laughed about my sweaty shirt. Now it feels like a cage I'm walking back into, the key still warm in my pocket from when I thought it meant something. It's past midnight when I push the door open. The place is dark, quiet except for the hum of the fridge. Lila's already there, perched on the couch in her reception dress, the white lace crumpled like she's been sitting a while. She doesn't look up when I step in, just keeps scrolling her phone, the blue light carving shadows under her eyes. I drop my keys on the counter, loud enough to make her flinch, and that's when she finally meets my gaze. Her lips part, like she's about to say something, but I beat her to it. What the hell was that, Lila? My voice is low, rougher than I mean it to be, but I don't care. You let her sit me in the back, at our wedding, and you didn't say a damn word. She sets the phone down slow, like she's buying time. Ethan, it wasn't a big deal. Mom she wanted Victor up there. He's important to her. You know that. Not a big deal? I laugh, but it's sharp, jagged. That was my seat. Next to you. My wife. And you let him take it like I'm some nobody you dragged along. You're overreacting. She stands, smoothing her dress, her voice picking up that edge she gets when she's cornered. It's just how things work with her. She's always been like this. You knew that when you married me. I stare at her, waiting for more. An apology. I slap the papers on the counter between us. You didn't stand for me when it mattered. You picked them over me, your mom, Victor, that whole circus. I'm not living like this. Her mouth opens, then shuts, and for a second, I think she might cry. But then her jaw tightens, and she steps closer, voice dropping to a hiss. You're throwing this away over one night? One stupid seat. It's not about the seat. I snap, louder than I mean to, and she flinches again. It's about you. You let them treat me like dirt, and you smiled while they did it. I'm not your doormat, Lila. Not anymore. She grabs the papers, scanning them like she's looking for a loophole. You planned this? Before the wedding. I hoped I wouldn't need them. My throat's tight now, the words scraping out. I thought you'd prove me wrong. You didn't. The room goes quiet, just the tick of the clock on the wall and her shallow breathing. She stares at me, and I see it, half defiance, half something softer, maybe regret, flickering in her eyes. Ethan, we can fix this. You don't have to know. I cut her off, sharp and final. Sign it. She hesitates, pen hovering over the line. I can almost hear her thinking about her mom's wrath, Victor's money, the life she's used to. Then she scrawls her name, quick and messy, and shoves the papers back at me. Fine. If you want to blow this up, go ahead. But you'll regret it. Maybe. I fold the papers, tucking them into my jacket. But I'd regret staying more. She doesn't say anything after that, just watches as I head to the bedroom. I grab my duffel from the closet, the one I've had since I was a kid, patched up with duct tape, and start stuffing it. Jeans, a couple shirts, my work boots. The essentials. Every zip and rustle echoes in the silence, and I feel her shadow in the doorway, lingering like she's waiting for me to crack. I don't. I shoulder the bag, grab my keys, and walk past her without a glance. Her perfume hits me, jasmine, same as always. and for a second my resolve wavers. But then I remember her smile at Victor, and my feet keep moving. The front door slams behind me, louder than I mean it to. Outside, the night's cold, the street empty except for a stray cat darting across the road. My truck's parked crooked, still littered with streamers from the wedding. I climb in, toss the bag on the passenger seat, and start the engine. It rumbles to life, a low growl that matches the storm in my chest. Lila's silhouette flickers in the window as I pull away, but I don't look back long enough to see if she's crying. The road stretches out, black and endless, headlights slicing through it. My hands are steady now, the ache in my knuckles gone. I don't know where I'm going, maybe a motel, maybe my buddy Jake's couch, but it doesn't matter. What matters is this: I'm not theirs to define anymore. Not Cynthia's punching bag, not Lila's backup plan. I signed those papers too, in my head, long before she put pen to page. This isn't just me leaving a house. It's me breaking free. The city lights fade in the rear view, and I crank the window down, letting the wind howl in. It's raw, cold, alive. For the first time all night, I breathe easy. They can keep their high table. I'm building my own. And it starts right now. A week out from the wedding, and I'm crashing on Jake's lumpy couch, the kind that smells like stale beer and dog hair even though he swears he's never owned a mutt. The motel I tried first chewed through my cash too fast, $50 a night for a bed that creaked like a haunted house and a shower that spat rust. Jake's place is free, at least, and he doesn't ask questions. He just tossed me a spare key and a beer, muttered, "Rough break, man," and left me to figure out the rest. That's what I'm doing now, figuring it out. The TV's on low, some late-night infomercial about a blender that'll change your life, but I'm hunched over my laptop, grease-stained fingers tapping keys. I'm a mechanic by trade, always have been, and I've got an idea brewing. A garage of my own. No boss, no bullshit, just me, some tools, and a chance to build something they can't take away. The screen glows with numbers, rent for a shop space, tools I'd need to scrounge, a loan I might sweet-talk the bank into. It's a long shot, but I've got nothing else. My phone buzzes on the coffee table, screen lighting up with Lila's name. 5th call today. I let it ring out, same as the others, and it flips to voicemail. I don't listen. Don't need to. I can guess what she wants, same thing Cynthia's been texting about since yesterday. "Ethan, we need to talk. Call me." It's urgent. Urgent for them, maybe. Not for me. Back at their world, 7 miles across town in Cynthia's marble and glass palace, the air's probably thick with panic right now. I can picture it, Lila pacing the hardwood, chewing her lip like she does when she's stressed, while Cynthia's barking orders at some poor maid. They didn't see this coming. Neither did I, not really, until I remembered the deed. That little house we bought? My name's on it, not Lila's. I'd put up the cash, handled the paperwork, kept it in my control because I didn't trust Cynthia's claws near anything I owned. They thought I was just the grunt, the guy who fixed their cars and nodded at their plans. Quiet Ethan, good old reliable Ethan. They didn't know I was the spine holding their pretty little life together. Flashback hits me hard. Last summer, Cynthia's BMW conked out on her way to some charity gala. She'd called me, voice dripping venom. "Fix it, Ethan, or I'll be late." I'd driven out at midnight, toolbox rattling in my truck, and had it purring by dawn. No thanks, just a curt nod as she sped off. Or that time Lila's laptop crashed, the one with her business ideas she never followed through on. I'd stayed up 3 nights straight, pulling files off a dead drive while she slept. They leaned on me, always, but never saw me. Now they're feeling it, the weight of me not being there. My phone pings again. Text this time. "Ethan, it's Mom. Answer your damn phone." I smirk, toss it face down. Let her stew. Jake shuffles in from the kitchen, cracking another beer. "They still hounding you?" he asks, nodding at the buzzing brick. "Like flies on shit," I say, and he laughs, a deep, rough sound that cuts the tension. "They'll give up eventually." "Doubt it. You're the guy who keeps their world spinning." He flops into the armchair, kicking his feet up. "What did you do? Swipe their golden goose?" "Something like that." I don't elaborate. Jake doesn't need the details. He's the type who'd have my back in a bar fight but wouldn't care about the why. I turn back to the laptop, crunching numbers. There's a garage for lease downtown, a gritty spot with oil-stained floors and a rent I could swing if I sell the truck. It's a start. A real one. Meanwhile, across town, Cynthia's losing her mind. I can see her now. Red nails tapping her granite counter, phone pressed to her ear, leaving me another voicemail I won't hear. Ethan, this is ridiculous. We need access to the house. You can't just disappear like this. She'd be pacing that opulent living room, all white rugs and gold-trimmed mirrors, the kind of place that screams money but feels like a tomb. Lila's probably beside her, pleading softer. Ethan, please, just talk to us. They've tried everything, calls, texts, even showed up at my old job yesterday, according to Pete, the shop foreman. He texted me, laughing. Your ex and her mom rolled up in a Benz, looking pissed. Told him you quit. I'd quit 2 days after the wedding, walked out with my toolbox and a middle finger to the manager who'd always underpaid me. They don't know where I am now, and that's how I want it. Invisible, but not weak. Building, not begging. Another memory sneaks in Christmas 2 years back. Cynthia's heat went out, and she'd called me in a snowstorm to fix the furnace. I'd crawled under her mansion, hands numb, breath fogging, while she sipped wine upstairs and complained about the cold. Lila had brought me coffee after, kissed my cheek, said, "You're the best." I'd believed it then, thought it meant something. Now I see it for what it was, pity, not love. They counted on me being the guy who'd always show up, no matter how they kicked me down. My phone lights up again, missed call, Cynthia. Then a text, "We're coming to find you." Good luck with that. Jake's address isn't on any paper they'd dig up, and I'm not dumb enough to leave a trail. I mute the thing, shove it in my pocket, and refocus. The garage plan's coming together. I've got a meeting with the landlord tomorrow, a guy named Sal who sounds gruff but fair. If I can lock this down, it's mine. A place they can't touch. Back at Cynthia's, the phone slams down. I don't hear it, but I know it's happening. She's furious, voice probably echoing off those high ceilings. How dare he ignore me? Lila's quieter, maybe staring out the window, wondering where I went. They're scrambling, realizing too late that I wasn't just the help. I was the glue. The house, the cars, the little fixes they never thanked me for. It's all slipping now, and they've got no one to blame but themselves. I lean back on the couch, the springs groaning under me. Jake's snoring already, beer can tipping in his hand. The laptop screen dims, but I don't close it. This is my shot, grease under my nails, sweat on my brow, a life I claw out of the dirt. They can call all they want. I'm not picking up. Not now, not ever. Let them figure out how to stand without me. I'm too busy standing on my own. 4 months since I walked out, and I'm elbow deep in the guts of a '67 Mustang, the kind of car that growls like it's alive. The garage smells like oil and metal, a sharp tang that sticks to my skin, and I love it. It's mine, Ethan's auto, painted in bold red letters above the roll-up door. Took every dime I had left, selling the truck and scraping by on ramen, but I locked down the lease with Sal, a grizzled old guy who shook my hand like he meant it. Downtown's gritty, all cracked pavement and neon signs, but this corner's my kingdom now. The fluorescent lights buzz overhead, tools clatter against concrete, and I'm building something piece by piece, bolt by bolt, that they can't touch. I've been at it nonstop since I got here. Days bleed into nights, wrench in one hand, coffee in the other. Word spreading, guys with beat-up Fords and souped-up Chevys roll in, grumbling about dealership prices. I fix, am fast, charge fair, and they keep coming back. Last week, I hired Sam, a wiry mechanic with a smart mouth and a knack for engines that rivals mine. He's leaning against the workbench now, wiping grease off his hands, smirking as I wrestle a stubborn alternator. You gonna sweet-talk that thing, boss, or just glare it into submission? Shut up and hand me the 10mm. I shoot back, grinning despite myself. Sam's a find, showed up with a toolbox and a story about ditching a dead-end gig upstate. He doesn't pry, doesn't care about my baggage, just works hard and cracks jokes that keep the days from dragging. He sees me for what I am now, not what I was. That's enough. Across town, or maybe across the state, I don't keep tabs. Lila's world's starting to fray. I don't hear it straight from them anymore. I blocked their numbers weeks ago. But gossip trickles in, carried by old mutuals or the occasional client who knows too much. Victor's gone, they say. Dumped Lila like a bad habit once the wedding glow wore off. Guess she wasn't shiny enough without me to prop her up. Cynthia's not faring much better. Her latest investment tanked. Some shady real estate deal she bragged about at the reception. They're slipping, And I'd be lying if I said it didn't feel good. Just a little. I'm torquing a bolt when Sam nods at the radio, some classic rock station we keep on low. Heard your ex's mom lost her Benz, he says, casual as hell. Repo guy snatched it right out of her driveway. I pause, wrench still in hand. Yeah. Neighbor's cousin works at the bank. Said she's been dodging calls, screaming about lawyers. He snorts. Guess money don't buy brains. I don't say much, just grunt and go back to the Mustang. But inside, there's a flicker, satisfaction, slow and warm, like a match catching. They're hearing about me too, I bet. Whispers of the garage, how it's picking up steam. P from my old shop swung by last month, jaw dropping when he saw the place. You're killing it, man, he'd said, slapping my shoulder. Cynthia'd choke if she knew. Let her choke. She'd scoff if she heard, call it small time, but I see the doubt creeping into her smirk. Lila too. They thought I'd crash without them. I'm flying instead. The days stack up, and the garage hums. Sam and I pull long shifts, bantering over spark plugs and carburetors, turning away less now, 'cause we can't keep up. I'm good at this. Damn good, and it's starting to show. There's a rhythm to it, a pulse I can feel in my bones. Fix a car, send it roaring back to life, pocket the cash. No high table, no velvet curtains, just me and the work. It's honest. Real. More than they ever gave me. Then the big break comes. It's a muggy Thursday, late afternoon, sun dipping low and painting the garage gold. A guy rolls in, mid-40s, leather jacket, driving a '72 Camaro that's seen better days. Heard you're the man to fix this, he says, voice rough like he smokes too much. Name's Tony. Got a car club, bunch of gearheads with deep pockets. You do this right, we'll bring you more. I nod, keep it cool, but my pulse kicks up. Let's see what she needs. She needs a lot. Blown head gasket, rusted exhaust, the works. Sam and I dive in, tearing it apart like surgeons, piecing it back together over 2 sleepless nights. Tony comes back Saturday, and when I fire up the engine, it roars, deep, mean, alive. His grin splits wide. Holy shit, kid. You're a wizard. He hands me a wad of cash, more than I quoted, and a business card. We've got to meet next month. 10 cars, all classics. You in? Yeah. I say, pocketing the card. I'm in. He peels out, tires squealing, and Sam whoops, tossing a rag at me. That's it, man. We're golden. I catch the rag, and for the first time since that damn wedding, I smile. Real, unguarded, stretching my face till it hurts. It's not just the deal. It's the weight lifting, the proof piling up. I'm not the guy in the back anymore. I'm the one they come to. Back in Lila's crumbling orbit, the cracks widen. I don't see it, but I feel it in the air, like static before a storm. Cynthia's probably holed up in that mansion, snapping at Lila over breakfast, blaming her for Victor bailing. If you'd kept Ethan in line, she'd hiss, and Lila'd shrink, staring at her coffee. They hear the rumors. Ethan's garage, Ethan's big win, and scoff loud enough to drown the doubt. He'll burn out, Cynthia'd say, but her voiced waver. Lila'd stay quiet, maybe wondering if she picked the wrong side. Here, though, the garage door's up, breeze cutting through the heat. Sam's cracking open a couple beers, handing me one. To the climb, he says, clinking the bottle against mine. I take a swig, cold and sharp, and lean against the workbench. The Mustang's gone, Tony's card's in my pocket, and the future's humming louder than any engine. They're falling. I'm rising. And damn, it feels good. 3 years since I walked out, and I'm standing in a ballroom that could swallow my garage whole. The Detroit Auto Expo, biggest trade show in the Midwest, all polished chrome and sharper suits. I'm here with my name on a badge, Ethan Carter, Ethan's Auto, pinned to a jacket that actually fits, not some rented thing pinching my shoulders. The place hums with money, dealers hawking custom builds, CEOs shaking hands over whiskey, engines purring on display like they're showing off. My booth's in the thick of it, a '69 Charger I restored myself, black as sin and growling low. Tony's Car Club hooked me up after that first job, and now I'm the guy they call for classics that need a soul. I've got a crew of 6, a second shop opening next month, and a rep that's spread far enough to land me here. I'm not just surviving. I'm a player. The crowd parts as I move, nods and murmurs trailing me. That's Carter, someone says, low and impressed. I keep my head up, shoulders square, but inside, there's a kick. Pride. Yeah, but something fiercer. I earned this, every damn inch. The lights overhead catch the charger's curves, and a guy in a Rolex stops to snap a picture. I'm mid-conversation with a potential client, some hotshot from Chicago looking for a fleet redo, when I see them. Cynthia and Lila, across the room, like ghosts I didn't expect to haunt me here. They look different, diminished. Cynthia's still got the designer gown, but it hangs loose, like she's shrunk inside it. Her hair's dyed too bright, a desperate grab at youth, and her eyes dart around, hunting for someone to impress. Lila's alone, no victor in sight. Her dress simple, too simple for her old self. She's thinner, shoulders hunched, clutching a glass like it's a lifeline. They're not here for cars, I'd bet my shop on it. They're here for scraps, clinging to whatever's left of their old world. And then they spot me. Cynthia moves first, heels clicking sharp against the polished floor, Lila trailing like a shadow. I turn back to the Chicago guy, wrapping up quick, I'll email you the quote. And he claps my shoulder, oblivious to the storm heading my way. By the time I face them, they're close, too close, and Cynthia's smile is all teeth, brittle as glass. Ethan, she says, voice syrupy, like we're old pals. Look at you. Quite the setup. I don't smile back. What do you want, Cynthia? She blinks, thrown by the ice in my tone, but recovers fast. We've been hearing about your success. Impressive, really. We always knew you had potential. Her eyes flick to the charger, then back to me, calculating. Lila shifts behind her, staring at the floor, and I catch the faint tremble in her hands. Cut the crap, I say, low enough that only they hear. You didn't give a damn about my potential when you shoved me to the back. Cynthia's smile tightens. That was a misunderstanding. Water under the bridge, surely. She steps closer, voice dropping. We could use your help now, Ethan. Things have been difficult. The house, some investments, it's a mess. You were always so good at fixing things. Lila finally looks up, eyes wide, pleading. Please, Ethan, just hear us out. I stare at them. These two women who once held my life in their fists, and I feel nothing. Not anger, not pity, just a cold, clear calm. They're smaller now, shrunk by their own choices, and I'm towering over the wreckage they left behind. The irony's thick. They need me, after all this time, when I don't need them at all. I found my seat. I say, voice steady, cutting like a blade. It's not with you. Cynthia's face twists, a flash of the old venom breaking through. You think you're better than us now? This little car game won't last. You'll come crawling back. Mom, stop. Lila cuts in, sharp and sudden, but it's too late. The room's shifting, heads turning, whispers rippling out. A guy nearby snickers, loud enough to sting, and I see it, the moment their mask slips. Cynthia's hand tightens on her purse, Lila's glass tips, splashing wine down her dress. A waiter rushes over, but the damage is done. People are staring, pointing, and Cynthia's shrill "it's fine" only makes it worse. They're crumbling, right here in front of everyone, and I don't lift a finger to stop it. I turn away, done. Their voices fade into the buzz. Lila's soft, Ethan, wait. Cynthia's hiss about ungrateful, but I keep walking. The charger gleams ahead, my crew waving me over, and I don't look back. They wanted me to bend, to be the quiet fix-it guy again. But I'm not that Ethan anymore. I'm the one who built this, who flipped their game upside down. Let them flail in the mess they made. Outside, the night's crisp, the parking lot a sea of shadows and headlights. I pause by my truck. Not the old beater I sold, but a new one, paid in cash from last quarter's profits. The expo's still humming behind me, deals closing, my name on lips that matter. Sam's inside, probably charming some buyer, and I'll join him in a minute. But right now, I lean against the hood, breathing deep. The air tastes clean, sharp with possibility. They're in there, drowning in their own ruin. Maybe Cynthia's yelling at Lila. Maybe Lila's crying into her stained dress. Doesn't matter. I'm out here, unshaken, the weight of that high table long gone. I slide into the driver's seat, engine rumbling to life, and pull away. The road's open, the city's mine, and I've got no chains left to break. 5 years since I walked away, and I'm standing in my own backyard, the kind of place I never thought I'd call home. It's not fancy, no marble floors or gold-trimmed anything. Just a solid brick house on the edge of town, with a wraparound porch and a shop out back bigger than the garage I started with. The air smells like grilled burgers and gasoline, a mix that's become my comfort zone. The sun's dipping low, painting the sky orange, and laughter spills out from the crowd sprawled across the lawn. Sam's flipping patties on the grill, his apron streaked with grease, yelling at Nora to stop stealing fries. She's perched on a picnic table, sketching something on a napkin, her dark hair falling over one eye as she grins back at him. These are my people, earned, not given, and tonight, they're here for me. The shop's humming behind us, doors open wide, a '57 Chevy half restored and gleaming under the work lights. Ethan's Auto's a name now, 2 locations, a crew of 10, contracts with car clubs stretching across 3 states. I built it from sweat and late nights, from the ashes of that wedding mess, and it's mine. No one handed it to me. No one can take it away. I'm in jeans and a faded shirt, boots scuffed from the day's work, but I feel taller than I ever did in that rented tux. This is my high table, rough-edged, loud, real, and I'm right where I belong. Sam hollers over, waving a spatula. Boss, you gonna eat, or just stand there looking pretty? The crew laughs. Jake's here too, sprawled in a lawn chair with a beer, plus a few regulars who've turned into friends. Nora slides off the table, holding up her sketch, a cartoon of Sam wrestling the grill, flames shooting everywhere. For the shop wall, she says, handing it to me. I take it, smirking. She's been around a year now, a painter who wandered in to fix her beat-up VW and stayed for the banner. She sees me, really sees me, not as a fix-it guy or a stepping stone, but as Ethan. That's enough. I grab a burger, sink into a chair near the fire pit, and let the noise wash over me. The crackle of wood, the clink of bottles, the stories flying back and forth, it's chaos, but the good kind. I think back sometimes, not often, to that night at the reception. The sting's gone, faded like an old scar. I don't need to prove anything to them anymore, Cynthia, Lila, that whole circus. They're shadows now, irrelevant, and I'm not the type to dance on graves. But word gets around, even out here. Jake's the one who brings it up, tossing a crumpled tabloid onto the table. Saw this at the gas station, he says, grinning like a kid with a secret. I lean over, squinting at the headline. Socialite Cynthia Voss files for bankruptcy after fraud scandal. Below it, a grainy pic of her outside a courthouse, sunglasses hiding her eyes, lips tight. Lila's mentioned too, living in some rundown condo, waitressing to pay bills after Victor's money dried up. I skim it, then push it aside. Rough, I say, and mean it, but there's no venom. They built their tower on sand. I built mine on steel. That's all there is to it. Nora catches my eye, tilting her head. You okay with that? She asks, quiet enough that the others don't hear. She's sharp like that, reads me without pushing. Yeah, I say, and it's true. They don't matter anymore. She nods, satisfied, and goes back to her fries. Sam's yelling about dessert now, dragging out a cooler of ice cream, and the night rolls on. I lean back, watching the flames lick the air, and let my mind drift. It's been a hell of a climb, leaving that house, crashing on Jake's couch, pouring everything into the garage. There were days I doubted, nights I woke up gripping the sheets, sure I'd fail. But I didn't. I kept going, one wrench turn at a time, and here I am. Not perfect, not rich beyond reason, but steady. Whole. The fire's dying down when Sam claps me on the shoulder, handing me a fresh beer. You're quiet tonight, man. What's up? Just thinking, I say, taking the bottle. About how this beats the hell out of sitting in the back. He laughs, loud and rough. Damn right it does. The others catch it, raising their drinks, and Nora's the one who calls it out, to Ethan's table. They cheer, sloppy and sincere, and I can't help but grin. I stand, lifting my beer, the weight of it cool against my palm. The faces around me, Sam, Nora, Jake, the crew, they're not here for what I can give them, but for who I am. That's the win, the quiet kind that settles deep. I clear my throat, voice steady. To the seats we earn. The clinks echo, sharp and clear, and we drink. The beer's cold, the night's warm, and for the first time in years, I'm not looking over my shoulder. Cynthia and Lila are out there somewhere, fading into yesterday's news, but I'm here, rooted, content, free. The fire spits one last spark into the dark, and I settle back into my chair, the porch creaking under me. This is my table, my life, and I'm not giving it up for anyone. Thanks for sticking with Ethan's journey all the way to this table. If his story hit you, whether it's the climb, the grit, or just finding your own seat, drop a comment below and let me know what it stirred up for you. Hit that like button if you're cheering him on, and subscribe if you want more tales about real people carving out their own wins. We've got plenty more coming, and I'd love to have you along for the ride. Until next time, keep earning your seat. See you soon.